When it comes to the Oshi No Ko shipping wars, you're either Team Akane or Team Kana, but some people are Team Ruby, aka the absolute dumpster fire that is incest shipping. I'm Team Kana till it's fucking backwards, but I'd be lying my ass off if I ain't say Akane is very obviously in the lead right now. Season 2 of Oshi No Ko takes Akane versus Kana to the next level, since that's essentially the main focus of the Tokyo Blade arc. Let's start off with Kana. She's first introduced as a world-renowned child prodigy. She was able to cry in 10 seconds flat, made a hit children's song, and was loved by the whole world. But unfortunately for her, she peaked in elementary. I've seen plenty of people peak in high school, but Kana peaking before puberty is truly amazing to me. It's just like the Pokemon Go song kid. Does anyone know what the happened to this thing? Ruby and Aqua find Kana annoying as shit at first, since he let the fame get to her head, resulting in her developing some kind of narcissistic personality. It's all fun and games until her performance gets completely overshadowed by Aqua's masterclass, resulting in her absolutely bawling her eyes out. But little did she know, this was just the start of her downfall. It turns out that Kana's mom's childhood dream was to become a star, so she ended up passing that dream onto Kana herself. So naturally, when the fall off began to occur, her mother began to spiral, resulting in her parents getting divorced. And since her mom only liked the popular version of Kana, she chose to stay in the acting industry, which eventually leads to her reuniting with Aqua and Ruby in high school. Off the rip, Kana begins applying hella pressure on Aqua, asking him about the middle school he went to and invites him to go to karaoke with her. But Aqua's like, "Leave me alone!" And when in doubt, just hit them with the boy, slow down with that. They end up eating dinner together at Aqua's senpai's apartment, who just happens to be the person who directed the film Aqua and Kana starred in when they were kids. Bro called her washed after not seeing her in years. You ain't had to do my girl like that, bro. Just look at Kana's eye contact. Me personally, I'm folding. She eventually ends up dropping the name Kaburagi, which triggers Aqua. Turns out that Kaburagi was one of the names listed on Ai's phone. So in order to get one step closer to getting his revenge, he asks Kana if she could get him a role on Kaburagi's current project, which has Kana giddy as fuck because he thinks he just rizzed him up. Kaburagi's current project is a live action adaptation of the hit manga Sweet Today, and we've already seen how live action turned out in the real world. Yeah, this shit is some straight ass, and Kana isn't very happy about it. Just look at how depressed the manga author is. I feel the same way if my adaptation was on the same level as 7 Deadly Frames. It's not over yet, as the most popular scene in the manga has yet to be adapted, and Kana has a chance to elevate a scene she's very fond of. But there's one big problem. This nigga stinks! But have no fear, because the edgy 30-year-old man in a teenager's body is here. Thanks to Aqua's shenanigans, Kana is able to elevate the crying scene. Shit's so peak, even the manga author started crying. After this, Kana begins to rebuild her bond with Aqua in hopes of them getting in a relationship one day. She even ends up becoming an idol alongside Ruby and everyone's favorite YouTuber, mem-cho, all because she couldn't resist her Prince Charming taking a knee just so that she could guide his precious little sister. And it was looking like Kana was on top until ここで手放すわけにはいかない。Introducing Akane, aka the girlfriend you wish you had, but you don't, and instead you're alone watching a munchiWEEB video. Akane's story started simple. She was just a shy girl who had a passion for acting, all thanks to her love for Kana. You thought Deku was the anime's biggest glazer for how he treated All Might? Akane stole Kana's cut and fit, word for word, bar for bar. So how do you think she felt when she found out the person she looked up to wasn't who she thought she was? For the first time in her life, Akane was exposed to the corrupt side of the entertainment industry, and how the audition she was attending was rigged so that only Kana could win. She refuses to believe her idol would do such a thing, just for Kana to admit that the audition was rigged, and the confrontation ends with Kana lashing out at Akane for trying to understand her. You didn't have to knock off the hat and make her start crying, gang. Look at the state you left her in. How am I supposed to defend this? A couple years pass by, and Akane is still working towards becoming the best actress she can possibly be. She eventually ends up taking on a reality TV show gig, and through this gig, she ends up meeting Aqua. But there's one big problem. Akane has always been the shy type of person, and this type of personality doesn't translate well in reality TV, an environment where everyone involved is competing to be the star of the show. So naturally, Akane doesn't end up getting much screen time, which makes the head of her agency start lashing out on her manager, making Akane feel guilty about her lack of confidence. So she decides to start playing some offense until this bitch spawns in out of nowhere and takes her man. Akane can't let this slide though, since if she flops, her manager may get fired. So she reaches her hand out for the guy, and Akane had just fucked up bad, and the whole internet had begun to turn on her, even her most loyal fans. So she decided to post an apology tweet, which just led to the hate mob growing even louder. Clearly, Akane isn't a Tyler the Creator fan, cause how the fuck is cyberbullying real? Nigga, let's walk away from the screen. Like, nigga, close your eyes. The hate she was getting affected her so bad to the point it was affecting her everyday life. She couldn't even go to school without vomiting. You know it's bad when you don't even bother texting back in the group chat no more. One night, she ends up walking in the rain absolutely soulless till she finds herself on top of a bridge feeling euphoric, but in reality she had officially reached her breaking point. It was at this moment that me, alongside all of the other Kana supporters around the world, felt that we might be cooked. And trust me, it only gets worse from here, because from this point on, Akane damn near demotes her life to becoming Aqua's ideal girlfriend, which makes sense, since I'd feel the same way if someone just helped me from game ending myself. Take for example, that one time Aqua was alone with the girls, and they ended up pressing him about his type, so he ends up glazing Ai, and Akane made sure to write down every exact detail he said, declaring to become the kind of girl Aqua likes. She went out of her way to purchase old DVDs of Ai's old performances and pulled an all-nighter doing film review. Look at her facial expressions and peep her wall. This bitch is crazy. But it all pays off because he's able to do the impossible and perfectly imitates Ai, from the voice to the expression and most importantly, her eyes. Look at Aqua's facial expression, dog. He's flabbergasted. She had bro blushing, something I don't think Kana has ever done, sadly. She even brings up the idea that Ai had a child in secret. Keep this in your head since this will be very important later. The fact that Akane was able to get such a good grasp of Ai's character in such a short amount of time made Aqua extremely interested in her, to a point where he couldn't afford to have her leave his life. So what a better way to force a girl that's clearly in love with you to stay in your life than kissing her for the season finale of your job. The art of love bombing. There's a reason they call Aqua the modern day light Yagami. Kana's reaction to seeing this is nothing but pain. Just a day before, she was having the time of her life with Aqua, especially since he went out of his way to skip class just so that they could spend time together. And it's during this hangout that Aqua reveals that he prefers girls a bit older than him, which makes Kana realize for the first time that she's competing with Akane for Aqua's love. Luckily for her, Aqua wasn't lying when he mentioned his relationships with people on Love Now is only for work, as it turns out the relationship he was with Akane is a work relationship, for now at least. And after finding that out, Kana is completely head over heels for Aqua again. She even pulls up on their date like the girl boss she is, since Akane posted the date on her Instagram in real time. She's just looking out for her crush. But it's here where the beef between Kana and Akane gets serious, and to top it off, they'll both be featured in the upcoming stage play for the hit manga Tokyo Blade. The former child actor who was once called a genius versus the performer who is currently called a genius. This shit Gojo versus Sukuna all over again.
1 week later.
The hit manga Tokyo Blade is getting a stage play adaptation featuring Akane as the elegant Princess Saihime, Aqua as Saihime's loyal guard Toki, and Kana as Suguri, one of the main protagonist's loyal followers. Off the rip, the director is already hyping up the clash between Kana and Akane, elaborating how Akane is more immersive versus Kana, who is more adaptive. For the first time in her life, Akane is able to witness her idol's passion behind the scenes in person, leaving her completely mesmerized. And per usual, she instantly starts doing a deep ass analysis in her notepad. Meanwhile, Aqua is looking straight towards Kana, admiring her for being able to maintain relevance in the industry for so long. big by playing down to the level of her peers. But this time it's different, and she's paired up with a real star. And naturally, Akane gets mad at him for glazing Kana. Bro basically said, "Kana no diffs you lol," in front of her face. The climax of the stage play is centered around the two characters Aqua and Akane play. A loyal guard falls into despair after seeing his princess get struck down, but Aqua is struggling to recreate the raw emotion needed for this scene. Akane tries to comfort him like the loving work girlfriend she is, but Kana pulls up telling her to slow down with all that and clowns her for not being able to comprehend Aqua's emotions, even though they're technically dating. And Aqua asks Kana how she's able to display sadness when she's acting, which makes her jolly as hell. So she simply asks him what would he do if his mother died, which triggers his PTSD. But most importantly, to remember about the times when he's happy so he doesn't lose himself in the moment. So later during rehearsal, he begins to reflect on the happy moments in his new life so far. And turns out the dates he spent with Akane and seeing Kana's bright smile really do bring him happiness. And for a slight moment, Aqua is able to smile before being abruptly ended by his pent-up anger, which makes him collapse. Just look at how fast Akane gets by Aqua's side. She even escorts him to a sensei's place where she finally discovers that Aqua was involved in a horrific accident when he was younger. Aqua accidentally says Ai's name while sleeping, and Akane is finally able to put the pieces together that Ruby and Aqua are Ai's secret children. So when he gets up, she gives him a nice warm hug while bawling her eyes out, since he's finally able to comprehend the pain Aqua's been hiding the whole time. She even claims that she'll never leave his side. I gotta give it to Akane. This is a 5-star display of being a W love interest. Kana, I'ma need you to lock in, please. You're telling me she can cook too? Food was so good, Aqua Sensei's mom was begging him to never break up with Akane. The amount of dedication Akane has towards making Aqua happy is something every man wishes they had.
A few minutes later.
Hey Aqua, why did you start doing stage plays? Is it for the wealth, the fame, the power? I'm not trying to become the pirate king, Akane. Let's say hypothetically, my main goal was to kill not just anyone too, a person who sits at the top of the industry, and the only reason I act is to reach him. What if that's the reason I started?
Let's kill him together.
Is this nigga serious?
It's the last day of rehearsal, and Kana starts pressing Akane for giving her a look.
Oya, oya, mama.
This was deadass my reaction when I saw this scene for the first time. Kana then proceeds to pull out some receipts that got Akane panicking, and continues reading the book out loud in front of the whole cast, leading her to exposing Akane for being a Kana glazer. When she was younger, she really stood on business for what she did to Akane when they were younger. This woman despises Akane's existence, and vice versa, since Akane completely despises Kana for being so rude and arrogant. Homegirl out here hitting the gritty? It's moments like these that solidify Kana as my favorite character in the series. She's never afraid to talk shit, especially when it comes to Akane. Gonna have to give her 5 stars for that great display of standing on business.
もう同じ事務所のアクアの彼女なんだしさ、うまく。
ビジネス上のね。
Talk your shit, Kana. At the end of the day, this is just a work relationship, and that's all it'll ever be. Kana begins to elaborate on why she despises Akane so much. It's because her acting style gives off the vibe that her way is the only way. But have no fear, because Kana is here to prove why she's the best actress, as her and Akane have their final face-off before the big day.
Two rivals clash. The fight for Best Actress begins.
The big day is finally here, as the Tokyo Blade stage play is finally in action. It follows the story of Blade, a man whose life had changed forever when he stumbled upon the Tokyo Blade. Nah, this writing is peak, guys, I swear. He's confronted by the best girl, Kana, but in this play, she's Suguri. Blade wants all the smoke, so they get to boxing. The animation is mad smooth, bruh. Imagine if Tower of God Season 2 looked like this. You can see the passion in Kana's eyes while fighting. This is why she's the GOAT. Unfortunately for her, though, she's just a side character in this play. So Blade no diffs her and forces her to be his comrade. And just like that, their journey began. But one woman stood in their way. If Aura was a person, it'd be her. How can you not feel intimidated when in the presence of Princess Sayahime, played by the genius actress herself, Akane? And as she walks out of her palace, she's greeted by Kana. Finally, the day she's been waiting for since she was a child is here. The day where she could challenge her idol on the big stage, and it's here that we find out why Akane hates the current Kana so much. You think it'd be because of the way she treats treated her when they first met. But Akane went out of her way to learn psychology in order to understand the reason Kana was so upset back then. She understood how the pressure got to Kana as she aged and began to get less jobs. All Kana ever wanted was to feel appreciated. So in order to stay in the industry, she forced herself to become someone who adapts. And this is why she hates the current Kana. The person Akane grew up idolizing was selfish and always made sure to shine bright in front of anyone. She can tell that Kana she's fighting is clearly scared to shine. So in order to bring out the Kana she once loved, Akane decides to fight her using the same selfish style she learned from Kana. And I ain't gonna lie, she had my girl looking shook. Akane was whooping Kana so bad that even though there's other fights on stage, she's the only person who's standing out. She's dodging with her eyes closed. How can Kana compete? Kana finally realizes that Akane has been trying to make her come out of her shell this whole time. And as soon as she's about to step forward, she gets hit with that PTSD. Akane's heroic efforts were in vain as Kana reverts back to her adaptive self so that Akane can have all the spotlight. All she wanted to do was see her idol shine, but in the end, Kana became a shadow of herself. Shit's so sad it could make a grown man cry. Right before Akane could land the final blow, Blade swaps out with her and she lands in Aqua's arms. Bro ends up giving her words of encouragement while putting her in a position where she'd be able to shine. This sequence just screams Aqua Kana. If you team Kana, stand the fuck up. It just gets better as Aqua tells Kana he wants to see her shine. She takes those words to heart since for the first time since she was a child, she became the star of the show. Akane can't help but result to her parasocial tendencies seeing Kana shine in person for the first time. Last time I checked, neither Kana or Akane is the main character of this series. That title goes to the mentally pushing 40-year-old crash out Aqua himself, since after seeing Akane get struck down right before his eyes, he's forced to relive the trauma of seeing Ai die through his very own eyes in order to deliver his performance. While Kana and Akane act for the love of the game, Aqua does it so that he can get closer to getting his revenge. He ends up losing to Blade, but with the power of friendship, they're able to revive Akane. Seeing this makes Aqua envision a world where Ai came back to life, which allows him to deliver such a heartfelt reaction to seeing Akane be brought back from the dead. And from here on out, it's downhill for Team Kana.
Later that night.
Aqua ends up confronting Taiki, aka the person who played Blade, for having the same father as him. But turns out Taiki's father is dead, which means Aqua's revenge has been pointless this whole time. But this guy is obviously not Aqua's dad. How the fuck would gray-haired bum plus kawaii idol equal blonde kawaii twins with starry eyes? Who the fuck did they inherit the blonde hair from? Mind you, that this nigga was smart enough to become a doctor, but doesn't know how genes work. Now that his life is essentially meaningless, Aqua finally decides to live happily. And after thinking about the good times he can have with Kana and Akane, he closes his eyes and his star disappears.
ああ、食べる。
Ew, what is that? I was kidding when I was making fun of this guy for being an edgy 40-year-old. I need him back. Please don't leave me. W Kana for spam calling Aqua while he was missing, and W Akane for spam texting him, I guess. What a better way to enjoy life than agreeing to go on a date with your childhood friend who clearly has feelings for you.
The next morning.
My girl Kana was stressing hella trying to pick a fit for this date. She deadassed a whole fashion show in her bedroom trying to figure out what to put on. And I ain't gonna lie, she went 3 for 3, but she ends up running late even though she started getting ready 2 hours ahead of time. Typical lover girl shit. She ends up arriving late but blames it on her taxi getting caught in traffic. Aqua went out of his way to get Kana a heart-shaped latte, which genuinely made her happy. He even put the drink on his card, which had Kana acting up. They end up getting Aqua a new suitcase that just so happens to be white, the same color of Kana's glow stick. Bro even offers to put her bag on his suitcase so she doesn't have to hold it, and Kana simply can't comprehend how chivalrous Aqua is. After finishing their errands, Aqua is ready to dip, but Kana complains that she's hungry, so Aqua suggests they go eat. And when they arrive at the restaurant, it turns out Aqua already had a reservation under his name, which got Kana tripping, since that means Aqua must have predicted that she would complain she's hungry, since the route to the restaurant was literally perfect. It's almost as if this guy was pushing 40 in his previous life. Of course he'd know how to plan a date and love bomb a girl into thinking she's got a chance. That's while Kana's out here thinking bro about to take her to a love hotel, Aqua has something else in mind, as he simply drops her off at her apartment so she can reminisce about the great day she had, while Aqua links up with Akane right after. All my niggas hate Aqua, bro. I hope you stay depressed forever and die in the last episode on some school days type shit. They end up going on a walk where they discuss the future of their relationship, and they just so happen to stumble upon the place where Akane tried to game end herself. This bitch trying to gaslight bro into getting in a relationship with her. Aqua gets her off him and explain how he's no longer seeking revenge because he found out that his father is dead. But Akane quickly realizes there's a loophole in Aqua's reasoning and storms off. What did she end up figuring out? I don't fucking know. But instead of telling Aqua his real father is most likely still alive, she decides to keep it to herself so he doesn't go back to living for revenge. AKA, she wants him to live happily with her instead.
You selfish ass bitch!
The gang is meeting up in order to take a quick trip to Miyazaki, the place where Aqua and Ruby lived in their past lives, in order to shoot a music video for Biko Machi's new song. Kana has been looking forward to this trip since he'll finally be able to spend some alone time with Aqua again.
お邪魔します。
Homegirl already knew she was cooked as soon as she saw Akane got invited.
The next day.
ねえ、あかねちゃんは年の差っていくつまでいける人？
During this trip, it's revealed that Ruby has romantic feelings towards her doctor. She thought bro was being dead ass when he said, "I'll give you a chance when you turn 16" back in episode 1. Imagine what would happen if she were to find out he got reincarnated into Aqua. It's all fun and games until Ruby finds her sensei's dead body. You thought Aqua was him for having one black star eye? This bitch got 2 now. She out here flexing them in the music videos too, and praying that Aqua finds the killer. Just look at her, bruh. She is certified demon now. Still not as certified as Aqua though, since after seeing Akane on the verge of breaking down over their fake ass relationship coming to an end, this nigga goes ahead and kisses her in a romantic way for the first time. This bitch really had the audacity to break the news to Kana so casually in the hot spring. Just look at how heartbroken my girl is, bruh. This Mickey Mouse ass victory. We all know damn well her selfish ass wouldn't be in a relationship if she told Aqua the loophole in his reasoning straight up. All jokes aside though, Akane and Aqua do make a good power couple. And now that he's finally free, Aqua can live a life of peace. Shout out to you, Akane. You truly are his Oshi No Ko.
Who the fuck is this nigga, bro?
Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell if you enjoyed this video, since only 1% of y'all are subscribed. And besides that, I'ma catch y'all.